Welcome to Community Spotlight. I'm Cheryl DePodesta, Realtor with Long & Foster and a Church Hill resident. And I'm honored to sit down today with Susan Gable, a ceramic artist and owner of Shockoe Bottom Clay, 1714 East Main Street. Susan, welcome to Community Spotlight, and thank you for having us.
You're very welcome, and good morning to you.
Good morning. So I want to congratulate you because this is your 4th year anniversary at this location.
Yes, it is. 4 years ago, we opened the doors.
Wonderful. So tell us about what inspired you to become a ceramic artist and eventually open this location.
Several years ago, many years ago, I threw ceramics in Boulder, Colorado. Loved it. But then I had children and a business career and didn't have enough time to do ceramics. And my husband would say, "I'll buy you a wheel." I said, No, honey, it's a studio. And as my children grew, my son went to Alfred University, which was #1 in ceramics, and he came home from school one summer and said, "Mom, you used to throw ceramics. Show me how to do it."
Oh, wow.
No. And he said, yes. He went to his high school teacher, borrowed a wheel, put it in our driveway. I said, "Honey, you can't throw here." He said, "Yeah, we can." I said, "Will you take a class if I show you how?" And he said, yes. I showed him how to wedge clay, put it on the wheel. And my first time in touching clay in 20 years, I threw a cylinder. And in the back of my head, it was like, oh my word, why did I ever stop?
Oh, that's lovely.
And at that point, I started throwing ceramics. That was about 10 years ago. And I couldn't get any of my friends to go with me, but my husband said from the other room, "You didn't ask me to take a class." And he was a woodworker and by avocation. And he decided to try it, and he loved it. And his comment was, "When I turn a bowl, if you make a mistake, it's firewood. But with clay, you just add water."
That's great. So it's definitely a family affair.
Right. And we didn't want to have a home studio because we felt a little bit isolated. In the last few years in my previous career, I was working from a home office. And we wanted to be part of a community, so we decided to open up Shockoe Bottom Clay.
Great. Now, and you spent 2 years renovating this building, and it has an amazing history, so touch on that a little bit.
Right. So what happened was we were working at some of the studios in town and producing a lot of ceramics and decided that we needed our own place. This building was historically a hardware business, and this entire block, we're in Shockoe Bottom on Main Street, this entire block, to my understanding, burnt at the turn of the century, and so it was rebuilt in 1905, and this building was actually Edgar's hardware store. And then in the 50s, it became Standard Hardware, and this was 2 buildings. This was a shoe repair store and a hardware business, and it became Standard. And then it went vacant for 25 years, and it took us 2 years to renovate. We replaced everything from ceiling to air conditioning and staircases, and we kept the tin ceiling and the fire door that sits behind us.
This is amazing.
And we invited other ceramic artists to join us because
Wonderful.
we wanted to have a community. And we chose Shockoe Bottom because we could, and we wanted to give back to the community, and we felt that this was an opportunity to showcase crafts and a maker community within an area that had been blighted for a few years.
Right.
And it took 2 years to renovate.
Well, it's gorgeous.
And we have 9 working studios, and then the gallery. And the gallery evolved because 4 years ago, there wasn't a ceramics gallery in Richmond. And there were lots of artists just like ourselves, and we would go to Arts in the Park and different craft fairs to sell our wares, and we would be in different galleries around town for a pop-up show. And this gave an opportunity to all the local ceramic artists to showcase their work throughout the entire year. So now we have the 9 working studios, and those artists, their work comes forward, and we have another 25 local and regional artists represented in the gallery.
That's amazing. And so then all the artists are from Virginia? Or
all Virginia.
Okay.
Yes. And
great.
most are Richmond, RVA.
Nice.
Ceramic artists, right.
Very great. Yes. That's wonderful. And I know when we spoke, you really had kind of a vision for how you wanted to operate your studio space for the artists.
Right. We didn't plan. My background is science and art. It's kind of a mixture of science, art, and marketing. And having a son who's a glassblower, I realized the importance of understanding the business dynamics and understanding how to get started and having overhead. So we keep our overhead to a minimum. So if you are an artist, a resident artist in our studio spaces, you work 2 days a month in the gallery. We have no employees. And the idea was keep the commission rates low, eliminate as much overhead as possible. So we clean, we recycle as many things as possible. So we don't have trash pickup. We do everything. So when you buy something here, you have to be patient with us. We're not retailers. It's like a giant science experiment.
Well, and I think that's so important for these artists, right? They have an outlet now to sell their wares. They have, for the 9 that you have studio space, they have a place to work. And then they also contribute to the business and the community by working in front of house.
Yes.
So that's wonderful.
And it is good because it gives an artist feedback on their work. And I think that's really important in understanding the cost of goods when you're trying to sell your work and be a full-time ceramic artist.
Great. That's amazing. So now tell us about, because you have some upcoming events for the studio and gallery, as well as some industry events that are coming to Richmond, which is very exciting.
It is extremely exciting. So every year we have an anniversary open house, and it's December. So we have a holiday open house, and it's this Friday from 5 to 8. So we'll have all the artists here, the 9 resident artists, and we'll open up the entire studio to tours and have some food and music. Have an enjoyable evening, and we have free gift wrapping that night as well.
Oh, great.
We have lots of great gifts, and the prices range from $10 to $2,000.
So something for everybody.
Something for everybody, and it's all priced by the philosophy of the artist. So each artist has their perspective and their strategy for being in the marketplace.
Right, and then just for people who are viewing, so that's Friday, December 13th.
That's correct.
And it's from 5 to 8.
Right.
It's very exciting. So come on out and visit with you.
Yes.
And the artists, which is a great opportunity to meet them and find out like what inspires them for each of their pieces.
Right, and for the month of December, we're open every day.
Oh, good.
So Sunday through Thursday, it's 11 to 4. Friday, it's 11 to 6. Saturday, it's 10 to 6. And we feel that December is a very busy month, and so we wanted to be available to everyone. The rest of the year, we try and be open, and it's important to know that you can call us on the phone and come in anytime. We are here. We just don't have any employees, so we don't want to sit at the front desk.
I see.
So you call us and we'll open the door. If I'm here, I have a little sign I hang on the door, and I'm usually open at lunch hour every day.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. And then you also have a website.
And we have a website and Instagram and Facebook.
So easy to
check out
find.
our Instagram, depending on what you like to use.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So now, why do you believe it's so important for the community as well as anybody to shop local?
I think it's really important to shop local because it improves the community. It makes a vibrant, thriving community when you shop local. And then it gives back into the community because the roads get improved and trees get planted. When you're buying local, that occurs. Also, when you help small businesses and they're successful, they give back to nonprofits. We do a lot of donations into nonprofits for auctions and things, to schools, to Maymont, and different organizations that are funded through donations from people like you and me. And so as an artist, we also contribute into those. You know, one other question you had for me was what events are going on nationally?
Yes. And we can't miss that point because this is
It
huge.
is very huge. There is an organization called NCECA, National Council for Education in the Ceramic Arts. And they have a conference annually, and they were in Minneapolis last year, Pittsburgh the year before, Philadelphia the year before that, and Richmond, Virginia this March. And unlike any other professional conference, this connects into the community. We will have close to 100 art exhibitions throughout Richmond that are free to the public, and it's a juried international show of ceramics. So it's
international,
and it's sculptural and functional work. And we will have exhibitions here that are venue generated. In the building next door, we have exhibitions that will be going on. The train station, C'est La Vin, the attorney's office across the street. Rockets Landing, we'll have some all around town.
That's great. So no matter what community
yes.
you're in, you can find something to participate with that event.
Yes, so keep your eyes open. That's March 25th. So it's coming up soon, exciting. And there'll be lots of publicity. And it's throughout the entire community. So it's not just Shockoe Bottom. It's South Side, and it's the VMFA and
so all of Richmond
Edition.
will be
yes.
able to
we'll
have access and
yes.
involved in it,
yes.
and people can come out
yes.
and see this international show that is coming to Richmond, which is
right.
great for our community and our city.
Yes.
Wonderful. So now, I do know that you're very involved with the Shockoe Bottom community. Mm-hmm. And so, and when we talked, you were doing some exciting things. So tell us what you feel is the most current issue facing the community, and how viewers and people in the community who want to get involved can.
Oh, that's a great question. Now, as everyone knows, especially in Churchill, that this has been a mess down here. We've had lots of construction.
We have.
And we're still under a little construction on Franklin Street next to the train station. But with the renovation of the train station and then the rejuvenation of 17th Street from a farmer's market into a pedestrian market, it's finally settled down, and now it's starting to blossom and open. If you were down here last Friday, it was very vibrant with lots of folks walking the streets and coming into the shops. And so we need you to come down. It's becoming an awesome area, and it's right at the beginning. The seeds are being planted. We have a building next door that will be for rent very shortly, and you'll see it in some. It hits in the fuzzy front end right now, but things are changing around in the neighborhood. Lots of buildings are under construction, though. Be patient. There will still be some construction. But I think one of the most important things is to keep your eyes open and voice yourself. There is Shockoe Alliance. Go to their website and see what's going on for the bottom. The future of Shockoe Bottom is in all of our hands. In Churchill, in Rockets Landing, we need to have an impact on what happens here. And there's some great ideas and some great people connected with it. But we need everyone involved. It's when we all get involved that we create a strong community. And Churchill's only a few steps away.
Agreed. We all have our part to make sure that our communities are stronger in the end.
Right.
And it does so much for the neighboring communities.
Right.
So we may live in Churchill, we may work in Shockoe Bottom, you may live at Rockets Landing, but we all have a say and we all impact one another.
Yes.
So it's definitely making sure that we're out there supporting one another in the community.
And there's some great restaurants that just opened around the corner, and come visit us.
Yes, absolutely. Come visit you, especially on Friday. All season and for the open house.
Yes.
Susan, it was so lovely to sit down with you this morning.
I'm so glad you came down to visit.
Thank you for all of the support that you do for Shockoe Bottom and the supporting neighborhoods. We really appreciate your commitment.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. And thank you for watching this Community Spotlight. I hope you'll come out and visit with Susan at Shockoe Bottom Clay. And don't forget about the open house Friday the 13th. from 5 to 8. And again, watch for more community spotlights coming your way. Visit parkbench.com and see all the events happening in the neighborhood to stay connected. And please shop local. Thank you.